Hey everybody, it's Rod with PhotoFair coming at you with another video. Today I want to talk about the very cool Crown graphic. This is a little press camera in 6x9, so it uses roll film, which makes it much easier to deal with than a 4x5, and look how small it is. This is actually a little mini press view camera, and you can pick these up a couple $100, $300-400 depending on what lens is on it. These things are awesome. So first of all, you can see how small it is. It's got the little Calert rangefinder on here, which is coupled. It does work. This one needs to be cleaned up a little bit. I don't use the rangefinder that much, but I do enjoy using the rangefinder option. So what you've got here, little folding cameras, a little button up on the top here. You push that and it pops this guy out. You've got a little rail bed here, just like you would with a field view camera. Pretty cool, pretty easy to use. Now to get inside, there's this little lever right here, and you simply, you probably can't see that very well, I'll probably show you close up here in the window, and then you just slide the whole mechanism out. There's a stop right here, and you can adjust the stop for different lenses. This one's got the little 101mm Ektar, covers 6x9 with plenty of range of movements. Now, what makes these cameras cool, besides being so compact and lightweight, is they give you the ability to shoot spontaneously using the rangefinder to focus and kind of have that classic old, press photographer from the 50s kind of thing going on. But it also allows you to actually take some pretty good landscapes because the camera does have some limited movements. You can actually tilt the front to get a little tilt action on there. You can do a rise movement on the front as well to give you perspective control. It's not a full set of movements by any means, but definitely some basic, commonly used view camera movements are available on the camera. It's even got this clever little finger grip here for holding it. There are attachments out there for these cameras, like big extra grips, all the stuff that they used to use when these were mainstream cameras. If you're taking a landscape photo, you can actually focus right off the ground glass here. And just like a viewfinder, put a little loop on there, get real precision, sharp focus right off the ground glass. I'll show you in a little bit how to open the shutter so that you can look through it prior to loading your film. Now, this is a graph lock back. It is important that if you want to shoot roll film with the camera, that you get one with a graph lock style back. Let me show you how to identify that. On the back of the camera here, you'll see these little levers here, and you can pull these levers, slide them away from the camera, and that allows you to pull this whole mechanism off. This is a roll film back. This is a 6x9 roll film back. I'm going to show you how to load one of these, just in case you haven't loaded 120 in a roll film back. This is designed specifically for the smaller 6x9, 6x6, 6x7 cameras. They're all the same camera, by the way. It's just the back that determines the format that the camera is. 6x9 is the maximum you can go on this particular camera. But you could put a 6x6 and shoot squares on there if you wanted to. You would just have to find a 6x6 roll film back. This is a Graflex graph lock style back. It will not fit 4x5 cameras. It's made specifically for the mini crowns. Okay, so make sure you get the right one. Preferably buy one of the cameras where it's a kit and you've already got the roll film back. That's even better. Even if you're going back and forth between the ground glass for focus and the back, it's a pretty quick connection. So that's kind of nice. When you're shooting with the rangefinder, of course, you just have this thing tucked away in your camera bag and you're just out there shooting. Okay, so we'll show you how to load one of these as well, and kind of go over just a few bits with the features here. So you're focused just on the rail here, all right, and that focuses either off the ground glass or to the coupled rangefinder. What I really like about the Crown, besides the fact that you can pick one up from, say, 2.5 to 3.5, and obviously there's some more rare and exotic lenses that you can put on these cameras. But if you get one with an Ektar like this, really $300 should get you a camera like this, and it's a heck of a nice camera for $300. The nice thing is you can still find the lens boards for the little mini crowns. This is the little tiny little lens board here, and you can get 3-4 lenses for this thing if you want. Again, I really love this 101 Ektar. It's really sharp. I've even used this on a bellows unit with my Canon EOS R and gotten some beautiful images through it. It's got a decent bokeh. It's just a great lens. It's sharp, it's crisp. You know, not really a lens you probably want to shoot wide open. 4.5 is your maximum aperture. That's kind of fast for a view camera lens. Of course, it's kind of slow for a modern camera lens, but for the old view cameras, that was a pretty fast lens. A lot of lenses were 5.6 or even f8. But you want to probably shoot this if you're trying to do a landscape, at least at f8, to really sharpen things up. But it's a very good lens, and it just has a beautiful classic look to it. There's some other, Zeiss had a couple of Tessar lenses that you could shoot on this that were pretty decent lenses. Simple lenses, but they had a lot of character. Some people like to go way back and shoot with the uncoated lenses because you get kind of a softer, flatter contrast and definitely get kind of that vintage black and white look with the really old lenses. I like to get them coated. If I want a vintage, soft contrast look, I can do that with software. But it's kind of hard to go the other way. Okay, so loading it, you got a dark slide right here. There is no safety protection on this dark slide, so you want to make sure that it's in, and you don't, you can pull it out. And there could be a piece of film there, and you could expose it. So there's no safety lock on it, like some of the Hasselblad backs had. So this back is a couple of different pieces here. You've got this little pinch bit right here. You just pinch that together and the thing swings open. And now you've got this little piece on the inside there. Okay, so we're going to move that aside. This is the device where we're going to load this up. HP5 Plus. I like HP5 Plus. Works for me. This is how the roll, if you've never had a roll of 120, comes out of the container like this. Little bit of tape here, and you're going to simply peel that off like so. And now this is your leader here. Your film is right underneath here. Probably not a good idea to do this in bright sunlight. Even the light I'm working with for this crude video is kind of bright. So we do have to be cautious about that. So we're going to bring this guy back over here. And I've already swapped the spool out, but normally the spool will be on this side, and you have to move it to this side. It's an old-fashioned recycling system. When this film is done, this spool will be moved over here for the next roll and become the take-up spool. So right now, it's the film spool. These are simply spring tension. See, I'm just pushing that in with my finger like so. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the film in. Okay, so it's all secure in there. And we're going to come like so. And we'll come on over the back of the pressure plate like so. Bring it around. And then reset that to the start. And put the leader, see if you can see that, right in the little slot there. Like so. And then you start to crank. I like to make sure that this catches so it doesn't slip out by putting my finger on it right there. And then we're going to line that arrow up. That little arrow right there is where we want to line that up right there. Okay, a little bit past is fine. And then we put it back in here. Now it'll only go in one way, and then it just snaps closed like that. Okay, so if I tried to flip it around the other way, it wouldn't work. So then we are going to make sure the dark slide is in, and we just start advancing it, and it will automatically stop at number 1. And now we are ready to go, just like that. Okay, so that's kind of the trick to loading the back. Now I want to show you the lens operations with that little Ektar lens I have. Okay, so here's my little Ektar lens. You can see it's got a coated front element there. I even think it's coated on the rear. These lenses just go on the board with a little jam nut here. Like I said, you can still find these lens boards. You know, most dealers are going to get $15 or $20 for them these days. Let's get into the lens a little bit here. Okay, so this is an old school flash sync right here. I don't even know if you can find the proper connector. If you wanted to use flash with this, you'd have to get some kind of an adapter for that for a traditional PC cord. So this is how you cock the shutter. It is a two-step process to make an image with this. So you cock the shutter here, and then your f-stop is on this little dial right here. Okay, and you can see the diaphragms on the back here stopping down as I move that lever. Okay, so nice F8 there. And then to fire the shutter, it's this mechanism here. And this is coupled. There it goes, just fired the shutter. Your speeds are on this dial right here. This is an interesting shutter. This is one of the ones that went up to 1/800th of a second. These shutters are notorious for having some problems though. It's, you know, they can be repaired still, but they do occasionally have problems. But it was so way ahead of its time with that 1/800th of a second. It goes all the way down to timed 1 second. And basically roughly one stop increments all the way up to 1/800th of a second. So pretty impressive there. This little dial right here, this is X-Sync. So if you were using a flash, electronic flash unit plugged into this PC terminal here, that's the position you use. You also have additional positions for the old school flashes that actually had a burn time. The different syncs for different types of devices that for the most part we don't use anymore. So if you are going to use an electronic flash via a coupler with the little deal here, you'll put it on the X sync for that. This really doesn't have any bearing on your non-flash type shot. So anyway, recap, f-stops here. Shutter speeds is the big round dial on the edge. Cock it here, release it here. So that's kind of the trick with the lens. Focus is done on the camera. I'll show you some of the basic functions on the camera. So to mount the lens and lens board to the camera, you've got this little lever right here, and it's a simple, this just slides up and down. So basically you want to put it in so that this mechanism is here, because when you're using the shutter mechanism actuator on the camera body, this is pushing down on that to trip the shutter. Now you can also use a cable release. So you're going to put that in here. Sorry, I'm coming in from the top here. It just slips into the groove there. Slide these in by pushing those levers up. Now that lens is firmly on there. If you want to use a cable release, it goes right in the cable release slot. Whoops, you can't see that right there, cable release slot. Okay, so now the lens is mounted. You can do a rise movement here. So I'm simply pulling up on this lever here. And you can see I can move the camera up and down on a rise. Okay, so that's kind of cool. Focus is done with these knobs right here. And with the ground glass mounted on the back here, you can focus right off the lens, okay? And this is that ground glass I showed you earlier. And it just clips in with the same kind of slide mechanism that you have for the lens, except in addition, it's got this spring actuated bit that just clips underneath there. That's what allows you to pull it up and slip a film holder in it if you're using film holders. But if you're not using film holders, you're going to use roll film. The roll film back goes on the same way. So we put it in here like so, and we just move this lever here, do the same thing on the bottom. It's not going to come off, and it makes a light, tight seal. All right, and again, you always have to remember when you're about to take a picture, you've got to pull your dark slide out. Otherwise, you won't get any, the film won't get exposed. When you want to advance the film, you're going to release this little button here and then advance the film until the counter stops at the next frame number. When you get all the way to frame number 8, it'll just keep winding and you'll feel the film come off the spool. Okay, so when you're going to view through the lens, through the ground glass on the camera, this shutter doesn't actually have a T setting. It just has a bulb setting. So what I do is I simply use the cable release. It's a locking cable release, and I lock it open. Generally, a modern shutter, a little bit newer than this one's going to have an actual T setting. So it'll go, half a second, 1 second, bulb, T. Okay, so look for the T setting. That makes it easier. But all you'll do here is just cable release it, put it on bulb, lock the shutter open, and now you can look right through the lens and focus off of this ground glass bit right here, mounted on the back. There is a scale here. If you want to use scale focus, you want to do your best guess, but it's probably not the best idea. You got shallow depth of field with a 101 millimeter lens, so but there is a scale here, and again, that scale can be adjusted for whichever lens you put on there. This one's all pre-set up for this 101. So there you have it, the Crown graphic in this one in 6x9, but it's roll film. Easy to use, lots and lots of fun, and it's another relatively inexpensive toy you can get at PhotoFair. Next show coming up May 18th at the Newark Pavilion, and then another show in Portland in August. You can check out photofair.com for more information on PhotoFair. There's lots of camera shows all over the country. We have one coming up next month in Seattle, actually the Seattle area. It's in Kent, and that's a big show, probably the biggest single day show on the West Coast. They have probably 140, 50 tables in this big hall. It's a great show. I'll be there. It's a lot of fun, and lots of shows. Check Google to see if there's any local shows near you, and you can find these on eBay and other sites as well. But it's always kind of nice to go to the shows and hold them, feel them, touch them, ask some questions about it, and it really makes sure you're getting the one that you really, really want. So hope to see you at the next PhotoFair on May 18th or at other camera shows up and down the West Coast. And until the next video, thanks for watching, and we'll see you.